virtually go begging every year for every event, while others are getting secret scholarships from the Ministry of Culture, where grants are being given without even being advertised, without being linked to any sort of payback or any sort of service to country. But the Indian community, however, we have to languish and accept whatever pittance we get. And the Indian culture in Trinidad and Tobago has survived not because of state support, but despite state support. Others, however, I wonder if funding is withdrawn from Carnival or at any point in time, if Carnival would be able to survive as, let's say, Diwali or Pagua, which has had to survive on its own, and thanks to the support of the community itself.
Dr. Teelucksingh, I would like you to respond. What exactly is Trinidadian culture?
That is the million-dollar question. It is very difficult to define, particularly because we are multi-ethnic, multicultural, and multi-religious. We could no longer say Carnival is our culture. Yes, it might be celebrated by a wide cross-section, but our culture crosses the lines. It includes Pagua, it includes Husay, it includes Diwali, it includes Christmas. So it is very difficult to pinpoint and say, well, this is our culture. Right? We might be able to say this is our national flag or this is our national anthem, but we cannot really say this is Trinidad and Tobago's culture. Maybe in another state, maybe during colonial times, but we could no longer say this is our culture.
So do you disagree with the concept of a Ministry of Culture?
I don't disagree. What I would like to add to the event is that the Ministry of Culture must be more tolerant of other ethnic groups and other cultures. And
can I interject here?
Sure.
I don't want anybody to tolerate me, with all due respect, Jerome. I don't want anybody to tolerate me. We have come too far for I to be a subservient member of a society to be tolerated. Right. The Ministry of Culture should be disbanded and thrown away in the closest rubbish. It should be replaced by the Ministry of Multiculturalism, where the composite culture of Trinidad and Tobago that recognizes all the streams that contributed towards the development of our nation, from the native Amerindian people come right up to the latest wave of Chinese workers on the buildings in Trinidad, should be recognized as part of our cultural milieu. Okay. But at no point in time I want anybody to tolerate my culture.
Okay. Oh, well.
Yes. Change your word then.
I will change my word. I will use a better adjective. Maybe respect, right? Equal respect, the same respect as the Christian culture, and maybe accommodating, I don't know, mutual respect, right? I don't know if that would be a more stronger word, but I understand that he wants an equal footing for all cultures and religions.
Imam, do you believe that the Muslim community is sidelined? Do you think that you are included in that perception that we have of what is Trinidad culture?
Sometimes when we look at what happens at festivals and some of our Islamic observances, we really feel as though we are sidelined because more attention is always given to other religions. But what we need to know is that while the promotion of culture is excellent, we need to realize that we must always be conscious that God Almighty is looking over us. And whatever we are doing, whether it is the promotion of culture, we must not do anything to contradict God's law, to contradict our moral and spiritual elevation.
Reverend Paul.
A few years ago, the country here used to have a Ministry of Ecclesiastical Affairs. And I remember I used to kick up a lot of fuss about that. I used to tell them ecclesiastical is a Christian word. You need to change that to a Ministry of Interreligious Affairs. Now I see they have disbanded it now, but I haven't heard about the Ministry of Interreligious Affairs. But if I may just refer to all that has been said so far, the Ministry of Culture, if we are going to keep that word, or if we are going to change it, there is need for personnel in there to try to learn more about the various cultures in the country, the various religious groups and the people who make up the country, so they could have a good appreciation. Right now it is stacked in favor of the Christian perspective.
Well, I know we just have about 5 more minutes till we wrap up our discussion. I'd like to start asking each of you for your closing comments. Devon, we are ready to wrap up our discussion this morning. Religious equality, equity, and freedom in Trinidad and Tobago. Your final thoughts on the discussion, sir.
I believe that we will only arrive at true religious equity if the voices are allowed to be given space to lobby and to challenge the status quo and to continue to push our democracy to facilitate true equality of all in Trinidad and Tobago.
Dr. Teelucksingh.
I believe that we should not condemn any religion or any ethnic group. We must decide that we're going to live in a more harmonious society. We must be more open-minded, more accepting, and this mutual respect is important amongst the religions.
Imam.
I think we need to learn to appreciate each other, whether we be Muslim, Hindu, or Christian, because, you know, while going down the road, if something were to happen to us, I'm sure a Christian or a Hindu will stop to help me. And as such, we need to promote that type of unity and understanding amongst ourselves.
But doesn't that happen now? I don't think people would look at, say, someone of a Hindu faith or Christian faith and say, okay, I am not assisting you in anything because you and I are different religions. So that's why different view on it, but it's not.
Trinidad and Tobago is a rich religious laboratory from which we can learn from each other. And it is a shame when we refuse to recognize it and when we refuse to reach out to each other to benefit from what is all around us. We could gain from it, we can be blessed by it, we could become more knowledgeable by it. And we need to recognize that.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you so much. Devon, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Trinidad and Tobago, that's how we wrap things up this national holiday to the entire Muslim community. Eid Mubarak. And let's continue to recognize the contributions of each group in society. It's only through unity can we really move to developed country status. I'm Hema Ramkisoon. I'll see you again tomorrow morning.